So I just come out here to record for you guys, and the storm got here sooner than it was supposed to. The wind just picked up. This is just my Monday, man. It's just how it's going. Definitely a Monday. This morning I got stuck in that section of the driveway that I regraded a few weeks ago. If I didn't have four-wheel drive, I probably would have had to tow it out with a tractor. We got like, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches of rain last night. My rain catcher thing that I set up a month ago finally filled up to the inlet point. Anyway, a video or 2 or 3 ago, I mentioned we might be moving soon. I'm sorry. I got a few comments about it. It's just one of those things. I just talk to the camera like it's people and, you know, very organic, whatever. So here's what happened. We found a piece of property. First, let me say we're very happy where we are. However, we found a place with 63 acres that had a 7-acre lake on it. Pond, lake, reservoir, whatever. I don't know where the cutoff is. It's beautiful. When we were looking for this place, it was listed at $300,000 and it has since been reduced to $220,000. So we go out and have a look at it a couple weeks ago with very, very low expectations. We're pleasantly surprised. So we go call the realtor last Tuesday and say, hey, we want to make an offer, meet us at the place. So we offer $3,000 an acre. So about $190,000. Here's why. It doesn't have a house on it. It's got 5 trailers. Mobile home, manufactured home, tornado magnet, whatever you want to call it. So one of them needs to be burned. 2 of them have people living in them. And 2 are empty but very livable. So we're thinking for the future, we could live in one, put tile in the kitchen and dining room in the other. That's all it needed. Rent it out for about $500 a month, haul the other trailer away and put a little cabin there and put it on Airbnb or VRBO or something. Lots of potential future income. And that's like the whole point of having the land, is to bring in extra money to supplement 401k for retirement or whatever. So the rub is that since it doesn't have a brick and mortar house, you can't get a conventional loan for it. You have to get a land loan. And land loans are typically about 15 years. They are fixed interest rate for the first 5, but it's about 2 or 2.5% more than you'd pay for a conventional loan. And then after that first 5 years, you're converted to an ARM, which they adjust annually. And they go off of some interest rate set by the Treasury or some federal agency. So our thought process is, this is a beautiful place. It's more land than we've got now. I always want more. When we moved here, 25 acres seemed like a lot, and now it just seems to get smaller the more we're here. So it's more land. It's beautiful. It's got this lake on it. And the idea was to take the money from like the Airbnb thing or whatever, pay off as much of the loan in the first 5 years as possible, and then get a construction loan which will convert to like a conventional mortgage to pay off the land loan. By the way, you have to put 25% down typically for land loans. So the whole situation was just a weird ordeal overall. We looked at it a couple weeks ago. We called the guy Tuesday last week and said, hey, we want to make an offer, meet us at the place. He was nice enough to bring his side-by-side. He took us for a little drive around the property, which I would have just been fine exploring if we had bought it. So we tell him we want to make an offer. We want to offer $190,000, essentially based on the fact that the land is the only thing with value, because the mobile homes are old enough that no bank is going to say, oh yeah, that's a dwelling. So he goes, okay, can we make it a handshake deal, verbal agreement right now? And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, but okay. So then the lady wants comparisons for our property and blah, 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 blah. I don't know why. The offer was contingent upon the sale of our house because we can't afford both. Maybe she was worried about us not being able to sell this place. We found out that there are no comparable properties in the area. You either get 5 acres or 10 acres with a house, maybe a mobile home on it, or you get 40 acres 30 minutes further away from a major city. Got some bugs. So we did the best we could, even though it was a weird request. So cut to Thursday, he calls me when I'm walking out of work, and somehow 2 other buyers came out of the woodwork. I don't know if he called them because it's his job to get the best possible offer for his seller or what. This is where having a realtor on our side would have come in handy, because we could have put the offer in writing on Tuesday and she could have said yes or no or countered. We might not have been in the multiple offer situation. But our rationality was, you know, we're not unhappy where we are, but this is a really pretty place. It's a little further away, but we could deal with that. People always trying to buy lake houses to retire at. We would already be at the lake. So the whole ordeal just left us very agitated. It was a pain in the ass. We found out today that she did not accept our offer, but she wants to keep it as a backup in case the offer she accepted, if the person can't get financing, then she wants to fall back on us. And for me, if that is the case, well, our offer just dropped by $10,000. We ended up offering $200,000, which I think is, I mean, it's pretty reasonable for us, considering that the thing's been on the market over a year. It's a little less than she's asking, but I mean, you know, that's how it goes. So that's the situation. I apologize for mentioning it. I got a few comments about it, and it was something that we were hoping for, and now it has turned into something that we couldn't care less about. We're just like Saturday, we were like, man, I hope we don't get it so we don't have to deal with any of this nonsense anymore. But obviously, if they call us in 2 weeks and say, hey, that guy couldn't get financing, are you still interested? We will have to have a discussion about it. So that is, it's not as short as I wanted it to be, but that's the short story. Basically, we found a place that is prettier and bigger land-wise, with a less of a house, which we could deal with. And we tried to buy it, and they said no. So we're no worse off than we were 2 weeks ago. So I'll keep you updated. I don't expect to have any updates, but if something happens, I'll let you guys know. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.